Hi, this is Eric Rudvig from the IGN Xbox 360 team, here with a video preview of Eternal-Sonata.
Developed by Tri-Crescendo, with team members hailing from the Baten Kaitos series and a few Tri-Ace vets, and published by Namco Bandai, this sleeper hit may just make a run at Blue Dragon for Japanese RPG of the Year. The first thing you'll notice with Eternal-Sonata is the lush world. The lush world has so much detail that it's going to immediately draw you into it and just hold on and not give up. There's exceptional work done, especially when you get in close during cutscenes to see the intricate detail that was laid out all over the world. It's vibrant, beautiful, and unique looking, even if it has a distinctly JRPG style that may remind you of past games such as Radiata Stories or Skies of Arcadia. Since this is taking place inside of a dream of Frédéric Chopin, one of history's greatest composers, there's a lot of music influence throughout the whole game. The names of the characters, the names of the towns, and even the side quests have a lot to do with music. One of the side quests we came across actually has you hunting down little musical sections that you can then play. And at first we didn't think this really meant anything, but if you find certain people throughout the world, you can play your pieces that you've collected along with them, and they'll rate you on it. If your piece matches up to theirs, they'll give you a good ranking and you'll get a secret item. If you play one that does not match theirs, you'll end up getting a bad rating and told to go off and search for new sessions to play. These musical play sessions just go to show how much thought was put into making this game really feel like it's Chopin's dream. And they went one step further. Although it's a dream, the themes and ideas of the dream world correspond to Chopin's actual life. The first chapter in the game is called Raindrops and has sickness as one of the themes. The game then brings in photographs and stories of Chopin's real life to show you just how much this is corresponding to what happened to him in reality. So like any RPG, you can see that a lot of attention was paid to the story. Equal amounts of attention were also paid to the combat system. Although this is technically a turn-based RPG, a lot of real-time elements are brought in, and the game evolves from the beginning of the game, where it's very turn-based and methodic, to later in the game where it becomes more real-time and action-oriented. At first glance, the combat system seems pretty rudimentary, but as you play, you learn that it actually has a lot of depth to it. The game starts off simple enough, with just a basic attack and a special attack, but if you do combinations of these in the right order, you can actually do more powerful special attacks. You're required to actively block, and there's a really cool shadow system in the game. Depending on where you're standing in the battlefield, you'll either be in the light or in the shade. Where you are will actually determine which attacks you're allowed to do, and will shape which enemies are attacking you, as they actually shift forms depending on whether they're in the light or the darkness. Things get more interesting when the enemies begin to actually shape the shadows on the field themselves. This adds a level of depth to traditional Japanese RPGs that you don't usually see, and makes it a lot of fun to take part in the combat. As much as we're impressed with Eternal-Sonata, there's a few things that may turn a few RPG fans off. First of all, the game is very linear, and there's few side quests early on in the game, although admittedly some of these may come later on. Also, the high amount of detail that they've put into this game makes it difficult for you to have large areas to explore. Cities are small, towns are even smaller. As pretty as it looks, a few minutes after arriving at a town, you've pretty much seen all there is to see. It may be linear and not have a lot to explore. That doesn't mean it's a short game by any means. We're roughly 10 hours into it and only a small fraction of the way through. And it really is a great complement to the more open RPGs that Xbox 360 is known for, such as Oblivion or Mass Effect. Eternal-Sonata is coming out this September for Xbox 360. Keep an eye out for it. We certainly will.